Hey everybody, Jim here with another video for you. See, you just can't get rid of me now because I have another tag response video from Kenny over at Kenny's Movie Palace. This time, it's the top 10 favorite movies of the 90s. But before I begin, at the end of this video, if you like what you see, please consider giving me a thumbs up. But more importantly, please leave comments below. Let me know how you feel about my picks. Let me know what some of your favorite films are from the 90s that I didn't mention. Now, as I said, my good friend Kenny over at Kenny's Movie Palace and one of my co hosts on Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim tagged me in two videos. He tagged me on a top five international films, which I posted yesterday. And he also tagged me on a top 10 90s film uh, video. And that's what we're doing today. And as usual, you know me, I always want to go big. So, in addition to the 10 movies that I picked, I also have five honorable mentions. Um, so, before I begin, I just want to stress to everybody that this is based strictly on my own personal taste. It has nothing to do with quality of film. I guarantee that my list will be very different than yours. And that's what's so great about these lists. It's all subjective and it gives everybody an idea of what kind of person it is by the movies they watch. So, anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get right into this. But like I said, I do have a couple of honorable mentions. So, in no particular order, we're going to go with these are the honorable mentions. From this multi pack of Kevin Smith movies, we're going with Clerks from 1994. We are going with Michael Mann's Heat, starring Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, and a bunch of other people. This is a great, great movie. Damn near made the top 10, as did all of these honorable mentions. From this multi pack, we are going with David Fincher's Seven, starring Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey, Gwyneth Paltrow, and others. This is also from 1995, and 95 was a great year. It's probably the best year overall of the 90s. It's just really great, and Seven was one of the, if not my favorite movie from that year. And then we have also from 1995, Terry Gilliam's 12 Monkeys, starring Brad Pitt again, and a career best performance, in my opinion, as is Bruce Willis, also best performance that he's ever given, in my opinion. And Christopher Plummer, David Morse, and the beautiful Madeline Stowe, among others. I adore this movie. This is my favorite Terry Gilliam movie by far. I think this movie's a masterpiece. And the last honorable mention that I definitely have to mention, from 1991, Jonathan Demme's The Silence of the Lambs, starring Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins, Scott Glenn, and Ted Levine, among others. Winner of all five of the major Oscar Academy. It did a clean sweep that year, one of the few times it's ever been done. And it's one of the few horror movies that's ever gotten that kind of acclaim. And it's an awesome movie in every way. Okay, let's get into the top 10. Now, again, I want to stress to everybody that this is all about personal taste. So, some of these movies you may agree with, some you may not, but that's what's so fun about these lists. So, again, number 10 from 1996, we have Danny Boyle's Train Spotting, starring Ewan McGregor, Johnny Lee Miller, Robert Carlyle. This movie is awesome in every way. It's a tough watch, especially if you are queasy about needles and drugs. But my God, the music, the performances, the writing, everything about this movie is fantastic. Now, like Snatch, this was one of those movies that I had to watch over and over again with subtitles on because I could not understand the thick accents. Doesn't matter. This movie is fantastic in every way, shape, and form. I love Train Spotting. Number 10. Number 9, from 1999, Kevin Smith's Dogma. This just got a 4K Blu-ray release after 25 years. Long story behind that we won't go into, but you want to talk about a cast on this one, okay? You got Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Chris Rock, Salma Hayek, the great, great Alan Rickman, Linda Fiorentino, Jason Lee, George Carlin. The names just go on and on and on. And I love Kevin Smith movies, especially his earlier movies. This is my favorite Kevin Smith movie by far. It's his most accomplished script. It's got his best cast. It's just an all around great film. So, number 9 is Kevin Smith's Dogma. Number 8, also from 1999. And this was my number 1 for the 90s as little as a couple of years ago, but things have changed. I don't know why, they just did. But coming in at number 8, it's still a great movie from the collection, the original Matrix, starring Keanu Reeves, Carrie Ann Moss, Hugo Weaving, Larry Fishburne, and directed by the Wachowskis. This movie was a groundbreaking. It changed everything, for better or worse. For the next 10 years, everybody and their brother was ripping off the Matrix, whether it was the costume design or the style or the fight cinematography or choreography or the visuals. Everything about this movie has been parodied and to death, to the point where now it is kind of a parody. But it's a shame because the original Matrix movie to me is still an incredible movie. It's got a great story, it's got great visual effects, and that was the year that Star Wars came back from The Phantom Menace. And I'm sorry, The Matrix blows The Phantom Menace away in every way. So, number 8 from 1999, The Matrix. Number 7 from 1998, Steven Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan, starring Tom Hanks, Edward Burns, Matt Damon, Tom Sizemore, among others. Vin Diesel's in this. What can you say? This is one of the best World War II movies ever made. That opening scene is an all-timer. It's one of those scenes that once you watch it, you'll never forget it. I'll never forget the visceral reaction I had in the cinema watching this. When the movie was over, the lights came up, and sitting in front of me, I had no idea at the time because I came into the movie a little bit late. And it was all veterans from, obviously, from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. You know, there was a mix of them. And I'd say 80% of those veterans were weeping. And it just caught me up in the emotion of the moment. And every time I think of this movie, I think of that moment. Powerful, powerful stuff. Again, another movie that's gotten some backlash against it recently. I don't understand why. But to me, Saving Private Ryan is a masterpiece. Moving right along, number 6. From this multi-pack, we are going with James Cameron's masterpiece of science fiction and action, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, and Robert Patrick, among others. This movie's incredible. It really is. Groundbreaking doesn't begin to say how much of an impact this movie had when it came out. People were just amazed. And unlike a lot of movies from the 90s that have CGI, every effect in Terminator 2 still stands up. You would think that this movie came out today because it still holds up in every frame. It's a marvel on a technical level, but it's also an incredible story marked by some excellent performances, especially from Robert Patrick as the T-1000. And believe it or not, Edward Furlong gives a great performance as a child actor. He really does. It's just everything he did after that that kind of sucks. But he's great in this movie. And Terminator 2 is a fantastic film. Okay, number 5 from 1993. Tony Scott's directed True Romance, starring Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, Gary Oldman. The names go on and on and on. And the scene with Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken is a masterclass of writing and acting. It's one of the all-time great scenes in movie history, regardless of genre. This is probably, outside of one that is coming up, my favorite film that has anything to do with Quentin Tarantino. He wrote this movie. He did not direct it. This was early in his career. He sold the script for this and for Natural Born Killers in order to raise money, to help raise money, that is, to make Pulp Fiction or actually Reservoir Dogs. And like I said, this movie's outstanding in every way. It's my favorite Tony Scott movie. It's my favorite Quentin Tarantino script. It's just an awesome, awesome film. Number 4, from 1990, Paul Verhoeven's science fiction epic Total Recall, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sharon Stone, Rachel Ticotin, Ronnie Cox, and the great Michael Ironside as Richter. I love this movie. I love this movie so much that every episode of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim, I reference this movie because whenever Sean says, we'll be back in 2 weeks, I do the little old lady with the mask going, 2 weeks, because I can't help myself. It's like a nervous tick. And it's something that me and my late brother Greg used to do with each other constantly whenever somebody would say 2 weeks. I love everything about this movie. I'm not a big fan of the remake. It's not horrible, but it's not this. And again, like Terminator 2, everything in this movie still holds up. The effects, the performances, the story, everything is outstanding in this movie. Outside of Conan the Barbarian, this is my favorite Schwarzenegger film. It's just is. It's a balls out, entertaining roller coaster ride that never gets old. Top 3, guys. Number 3, from 1994, Frank Darabont's directed and written adaptation of Stephen King's The Shawshank Redemption, starring Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, Clancy Brown, so many others. James Whitmore as Brooks has definitely got to get a shout out. I love this movie. Everybody loves this movie. This movie is considered a masterpiece. It did not do well uh, at the box office at the time. With a title like The Shawshank Redemption, it didn't have much of an advertising campaign. The critics were decent with it, but once it hit cable, it took off, and VHS, and it got nominated for all these Oscars, didn't win a single one. But when it's all said and done, go back in time. I know Forrest Gump has its fans, but you tell me, which movie's better, Forrest Gump or The Shawshank Redemption? To me, there's no comparison. The Shawshank Redemption is a masterpiece. It's just a wonderful, wonderful film with the writing, directing, performances, musical score, cinematography, you name it. Everything about this movie is first rate. So number 3 is 1994's The Shawshank Redemption. Number 2, from this multi-pack, we are going with my favorite Martin Scorsese movie, Goodfellas, from 1990. Starring Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, the late, great Ray Liotta, Lorraine Bracco, and so many others. Goodfellas, I know I keep on sounding like a broken record. I keep saying the same thing, but again, Goodfellas is a masterpiece in every way. There is not a single moment of this movie that is boring. Every camera move, musical cue, performance has the audience intrigued, and there are some sequences in this movie that are all-timers. Immediately, what comes to mind to me is Ray Liotta's extended sequence with the helicopters where he's all paranoid on cocaine. It's just a brilliant, brilliant sequence in a brilliant movie. I love Goodfellas. I've gotten into arguments with people about Dances with Wolves because Dances with Wolves won the Oscars this year. And Dances with Wolves is a fine film. Don't get me wrong. I really do enjoy that film. But to me, obviously by my placement for the decade, Goodfellas is by far better in quality to me. And it's absolutely one of the best films of the 90s. Only one film in my mind, is superior than Goodfellas. And let's get to it. And I think everybody knows what it is. From 1994, just like Shawshank Redemption, Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. With an incredible ensemble cast led by John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, Harvey Keitel, Uma Thurman, Christopher Walken, Ving Rhames, and many, many, many others. This is my favorite Quentin Tarantino film, and it's my favorite film of the 90s. It's just, this one and The Matrix, to me, are the two most influential films of the 90s. Pulp Fiction is still being copied to this day, 30 years later. People have been trying to get that Tarantino recipe for success, and it just never quite hits. He hasn't even quite hit the highs of this film. But you know what? I love Quentin Tarantino's films, but none more so than this one. Pulp Fiction, again, not to be redundant, it's a masterpiece on every level. The soundtrack, the performances, the writing, the directing, everything about this movie. I've seen this movie 50 times at least. It never gets old. I will watch it probably another 25 times before it's all said and done. Again, the best film of the 90s, in my opinion, is Pulp Fiction. So to recap, number 1 is Pulp Fiction. Number 2 is Goodfellas. Number 3 is The Shawshank Redemption. Number 4 is Total Recall. Number 5 is True Romance. Number 6 is Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Number 7 is Saving Private Ryan. Number 8 is The Matrix. Number 9 is Dogma. And number 10 is Trainspotting. And for our honorable mentions, we have The Silence of the Lambs, 12 Monkeys, 7, Heat, and Clerks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe, but more importantly, please leave comments below. And for my tagging of this video, I will tag a couple of my good friends here in the States. The last one, I tagged a couple of my European friends. So this time, I think I will be tagging, let's go with Anthony at Anthony's Horror and More, and Larry at the thehorrorcatdad. So Larry and Anthony, 2 horror guys, I'm going to send this tag video to you, and I would love to see what your top 10 90s movies are. Once again, I want to thank Kenny over at Kenny's Movie Palace for including me on this video. And I want to remind everybody on Tuesday, April 7th, will be the next episode of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim. Our special guest will be Larry at the thehorrorcatdad, and we are going to be covering 5 adventure films that we feel are overlooked or forgotten each. So that should be really interesting. You can watch that live over at Sean's channel at Movie Assault, or at the Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim channel, which is at Talking Movies 2024. I'm going to leave links to everybody's channels in the description below. I hope everybody has a great Easter weekend if you do celebrate such, and we'll catch you on the next one.